You know the deal is big when Middle-earth is described as the land of elves, dark power, and Tom Bombadil? What is Tom Bombadil? Tom's race is mysterious and it's not said anywhere, but we can do a list what he is not. Too large to be a hobbit, and too short to be a human. Elves don't have beards. The positive attitude and the appearance makes it hard to believe him to be an orc, right? The height and ability to grow beard would make a perfect fit to a dwarf, but Tom doesn't suit the criteria of a dwarf. That said, the only thing what he might be is the Ainur, the Holy Ones, which is split into the Mire and Valar. There's also theories that he would be the Eru, the one who created everything. More of that later. The story, life of Tom Bombadil. It's really hard to tell the life of Tom Bombadil since we know so little from his background. We can only speculate when he was born or created, but it's safe to say somewhere in the First Age, and he probably still lives and sings songs all day long. At least one important thing what he did in his life was involving in the War of the Ring. He sheltered the hobbits for a few nights from the ring wraiths and other spooky monsters. Well done, Tom. Background and theories. It's difficult to say from where does this mysterious character come from. What is his origin? Well, the name Tom Bombadil at least has a story. Tolkien's eldest son Michael Tolkien owned a Dutch doll, what had been flushed down from a lavatory, but it was rescued and Tolkien wrote bedtime stories in memory for the doll. Surprisingly enough, that doll name was Tom Bombadil. There are a lot of speculations from where Tolkien got the inspiration for this character. For example, Väinämöinen from the Kalevala, from the Finnish epic poetry. It can't be far-fetched since Tolkien adored the Finnish epic poetry and had already made some characters from it. Let's make a list from the things they have in common. Both are really old. Tom's are the first raindrop falling, and Vaka vanha Väinämöinen are phrases that describe their old age. Both are fatherless. Both have the power of song. But all these descriptions fits another familiar character, that being Gandalf. Some even say that Väinämöinen is the real inspiration for Gandalf, not for Tom. Tom has a lot of names, such as Jarvan Bendar, meaning eldest and fatherless in the Sindarian language. Forn, called by the dwarves, means antique in Scandinavian languages, more specific in Icelandic and Swedish. Oralt, called by the men, comes from the word Uralt in German, which again means ancient. Plus, there's Gandalf who calls him the eldest. All these names means the word old. Well, what if he is in fact the eldest in existence? What if he is the one who created everything? We are talking about him being Eru Ilúvatar. Let's collect some similarities. Both are obviously old. Both are involved to singing. Both have no effect on the ring. Goldberry is the mother nature and Tom is the father time. Goldberry is described as the daughter of the river. She wears a green outfit and nature is fancied by her. These interest fits no one than the big and cruel mother nature. Wow, that's a big claim. Well, if Goldberry were a mother, wouldn't it make sense to Tom be a father? As we already discussed that Tom is indeed the eldest, what particular thing could be the oldest thing you could imagine? Yeah, that's exactly right. It's time. And time has obviously been there before the rivers and trees. Could Tom then be the father time? What confirms this theory even more is that Colberry described his spouse as the master of wood, water, and hill. Do you remember the epic riddle battle between Gollum and Bilbo in The Hobbit? Gollum asked Bilbo to solve his riddle, which has trees and mountains involved in it. Can you believe it? That the answer to this riddle was time. After some theories, let us list up some real facts. Tolkien described Tom as the spirit of Oxford landscape. It was told in a letter. The river what streams through the Old Forest is actually based on the river what streams in Oxford and then descends to the Thames River. This river is called the J.R.R River. The Neolithic and Bronze Age stone monuments which can be found in the Barrow Downs landscape are based on real-life stone monuments from the place Rollright near Oxford. Some well-known stone monuments from the Rollright stones are Whispering Kings, King's Men and Wayland Smithy. And don't forget the world's most popular stone monument, the Stonehenge. The way how Merry, Pippin and Sam were buried in the Barrow Downs, covered in jewels, crowns and surrounded with weapons and daggers, has actually a real-life story behind it. The burial of King Redwald. King Redwald was the 7th century king of East Anglia, nowadays known as English counties Norfolk and Suffolk. Redwald's burial was found in a ship in Sutton Hoo. This burial was one of the most glorious archaeological finds in whole England, seeing it contained precious treasures, such like helmets, crowns, golden belt buckles, swords, shields and other various treasures, just like in the book. The books he appeared. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, 1954. He was mentioned in the second and third book, 1945 and 1955. The Adventures of Tom Bombadil, 1962. Letters of J.R.R Tolkien, 1981. The biggest and most important story he was in is the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring novel. Tom's first appearance is saving the 4 protagonists, Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin, at the Old Man Willow. After that, he brings them to his home, to Goldberry, where they stay to rest a while. The whole next day, the hobbits spent the time at Tom's house to get to know each other, and to eat Goldberry's fantastic yellow cream. It was also revealed that Tom can see Frodo even if he wears the ring. Tom also taught a song to the hobbits if they would get in trouble.
I have to tell a riddle if you get in trouble.
Which they obviously got. The Barrow-Wind captured the hobbits, but Frodo sang the help song and Tom saves the day. After the encounter in the Old Forest, Tom was also mentioned in the Elrond's council. It was suggested that Tom would keep the ring, but most likely Tom would forget about it or throw it away. Tom Bombadil's Adventures is about Tom's adventures, right? Well, not actually. There were only few poems about Tom. The most are fairy tales and bestiarities. For example, it contains the ditty Hey Diddle Diddle, a nursery rhyme from 1765.
And the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon.
It was simplified by Tolkien as the man in the moon stayed up too late.
And there they brew a beer so brown, the man in the moon himself came down one night to drink his fill.
By the way, Frodo told this poem in Prancing Pony. Remember how the Old Man Willow captured Merry and Pippin? Well, the Old Man actually had captured Tom as well. Ouch. And Remember Tom telling stories about badgers to Sam and Mary and Pippin?
Yes.
Well, in the Adventures of Tom, there are some badgers whom Tom deals with. In the Letters of J.R.R Tolkien collection, he was mentioned in some Tolkien's letters. For example, Tom's spirit, as well as some information and inspiration for Tom's habitation were explained. The collection contained a big amount of 354 letters. Letters to Tolkien's fiancé, publishers, and just letters about Middle-earth stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I worked on this a really long time. Over 6 months, half a year ago. That's a long time. I made an inquiry of suggested characters, and Tom won by 14 to Imrahil 13. A close one. Thank you for voting, by the way. There's also another theory on Tom which wasn't in this video. If you'd like to, you can check it out here. Of course, I'm going to ask you again, which character should I do next? So, please subscribe, I would really appreciate it.